So I thought the Tush Push was cool when I first saw it, but watching it, yeah, I don't know. I think it's dangerous. It's like, I would hate to be a center in the middle of that, but then also I think it's dangerous for the defensive lineman too. It's just not football in my opinion. But yeah, until that thing gets banned, they're gonna keep doing it.
Listen, man, we have a very special guest in the building. He is an offensive tackle for the New York Giants, entering his 9th season in the NFL. Born in London, raised in the great state of New Jersey, which is full of legends if you did not know. Went to Texas A&M where he starred. Please welcome to the Fumble, Mr. Jermaine Eluemunor. My brother, wagwan.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Man, thank you for being here. I was just telling you off camera. I'm going to say it for the world to hear it. Thank you. Thank you. As somebody who grew up in Jersey and was a Giants fan, we'll get into that. I kind of retired a little bit, but y'all beat the Eagles, and it's the joy that my week needed. And so just thank you so much for handling biz the way that y'all did last night.
Sure, I'm glad we could get a dub. We needed that one. That was one we earned. And deserved. So I'm glad we could get that.
Yeah, how are y'all feeling? How are you feeling after getting such a big win and to do it at home in front of your fans?
Personally, I'm beat up. I was dealing with a couple of things going into it, but winning solves all, as they like to say. So the soreness, I'm a sore winner. So I'm cool with it.
I always wonder this about people like yourself. I'm talking about gargantuan human beings. If you're just bigger than most normal people. If you weren't playing football, man, what would you be doing? I know that's like a really obtuse question, but I wanted to know.
I'd probably be like Floyd Mayweather's bodyguard or something like that. I don't know. Like,
yo,
I'm thinking about my size. Like, I'm definitely not sitting in an office. I feel like I got personality being on like a podcast or something, but it's like, like in front of a camera, but how am I going to do that? I don't know. It'd be interesting I always think about that too. I'm like, cause when I got to college, I was like, I'm all or nothing on this. Like, I'm putting everything I possibly have into this. Cause I had no plan B. Yeah. No plan B at all. So it's like typically like some guys have plan B, plan C. I had plan A and that was it. And plan A was making it to where I'm at right now. So I don't know, maybe like
you definitely got bodyguard and FedEx employee swag.
Yeah, like what the UPS like delivery, but yeah. Like delivery man, something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I put everything I had into making this dream come true, and I wasn't gonna stop till it came true. But maybe Amazon drivers get paid pretty well right now, so who knows?
For sure.
And you just talked about the soreness. Where you work is called the trenches. Like, how do you continue to have like success and longevity in the NFL playing that offensive line position?
I'd say the big thing is your recovery and your rest. I'm not a big believer and I know science backs it up and stuff, but I don't think you need 8, 9, 10 hours of sleep in order to recover. I think that recovery can come from the sleep, but it also comes from people working on you and helping your body get back to where it needs to be. Sleep isn't going to help my strains and like pulled muscles and stuff like that recover. People working on them will, in my opinion. That's my body and that's how my body works. I know, I'm sure people are going to watch this and be like, oh, I don't know what he's talking about. Sleep helps with this. I'm like, my body, I know what works for me, so, I have a couple of people that fly in every single week that help work on me, get my body right for Sunday. Playing on a Thursday game is tough because, you don't have that. Like for me, every single day is structured. I have a list of goals I plan to accomplish and a list of things I want to get through in order to become ready for Sunday. But with a Thursday game, things are like that process is sped up. Sometimes the people working on you have to be even quicker. Your time is real. You have to be real diligent with your time because you don't have enough of it in the day because you like Sunday, then Monday you have a little bit of off time. Then I try to spend time with my family, and then you have to, study film, study the plays. There's a whole new playbook in for that week, and then there's just so much things you have to do throughout the week in order to get ready for a Thursday game. So, luckily I have a really good recovery team in my corner that I've been working with, damn near my entire career now. This is one doctor that just helps keep me together for the entire season. So, I'm blessed to have him in my corner.
Yeah, thank you for that. Because I think that a lot of times linemen are overlooked in the league. Like, I think y'all have a thankless job and like, it's like hard. I mean, every single play is boom, boom, boom.
I honestly think it's the most grueling position, but it's also the most rewarding position. Like, it takes a lot to be an NFL offensive lineman, and not everyone can do it. You have to have the size and speed, but you also have to have the mentality and determination and the mindset that you're going to dominate every single play. And, that's why not a lot of people can do it. But then also it's very rewarding because, there's nothing like yesterday we had the ball, with I think like 7 minutes and 55 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. And that was my first ever true 4-minute drive where we just evaporated the entire clock. And that was the most badass feeling because it's like, you feel a team just kind of giving up and, secede into, damn, we're going to lose this game. And we're taking over the game now as an offensive line. And every single run we're hitting is hitting for like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 yards. First down, get to the 2-minute warning, take a knee, boom, done. And that's where the reward comes in from all the work that you put in throughout the week, the little sacrifice you have to make, maybe not seeing your family as much as you want to see them, the bumps and bruises. I couldn't practice all week because I was dealing with some things, but I was going to make sure I was going to be out there Thursday night because, prime time, you get to show the world what you've been working on and, who you are and, show the audience just how good of a player you are. And, I was never going to pass up an opportunity like that. But like I said, it's a very, very rewarding position, but also a very demanding position.
Man, y'all held it down last night. And I think anytime a team has a white running back, that the defense just, they in for a long fight, man. White running backs be crazy as hell. That boy Scatterbo, he just like a little Mike Allstott.
Scat got some black in him. I'll let you know.
Bro, he tough, bro. I would not want to see that man in the hole, bro. There's no chance.
No, there's no one. There's no one in, in a couple of weeks we play Fred Warner, and I would advise that man not to be in the hole with Scat because Scat is looking for him. There was a play yesterday, 90, Big Davis from the Eagles, gargantuan man, he's huge. Scat had a lane where he could have probably avoided him, and he chose to run into him.
Yo, he crazy.
That's not a lot of people have that mindset, to run into the biggest guy on the field. And he is the biggest guy by far. That cat is huge.
It's different, yo. It's like seeing Mike Allstott reincarnated. It's insane.
It's a mindset. And his mindset is, I'm going to run through your freaking face. And if you don't get out of my way, I'm going to truck you. Like yesterday, we had a pulling play where I pulled, smack 32. Scat comes behind me. Gets like 10 yards, but they're all pro linebackers. Zach Bond, I think that's how you say his name, came trying to smack Scat. Scat made it let this guy go flying. This is an all pro linebacker. The best linebacker in the league went flying. So, you watch his tape and you're like, yeah, this cat's for real. If it's either you try and go low on him and he's going to run you over, you go high, he's going to send you flying, or you just kind of get out the way. And, linebackers are hard headed. They're gonna be like, I'm gonna smack him, but I'm telling you, y'all will keep seeing. We have 11 games left. We'll see what we can do. But this it hurts. I'm like, he ran into my back 2 games ago, and I felt that. I felt. I got up. I was like, what the hell? He's like, my bad, man. I'm like, God damn, is this what these freaking guys are feeling like? And then after the game, I was like, it hurts to walk right now. So, if that's what they're feeling, I don't want any part of that at all.
And y'all have some characters on the team. Everybody seems to have such a great personality. So funny. We was just talking about Scatterbo. Dart has a great personality. Even Jameis Winston, right? You got to kind of tell me the funny. We got to go to Jameis. So you got to tell me the funniest thing that Jameis has said.
It was probably yesterday. He said, so, Jameis always leads the prayer group pre-game, right? So we always go in the shower, do our prayer.
Wait, y'all pray in the shower? Just I want to be clear.
Yeah, it's it's just a thing in the NFL. It's like prayer in the shower. They're free. It's a little thing. I
got it.
Done it everywhere I've been to because the shower typically is the biggest place in the locker room, especially away games. Those locker rooms are real tight and congested, but the shower is typically big. So in order to fit everyone, because typically it's damn near the entire team that wants to be in on the prayer pregame, which is really cool. So Jameis, this season's my first year with him, but he typically leads it. And so he's doing this, thing, getting everyone hyped up. Man can motivate a freaking brick. He has a way with words. And so he said, to the windows, to the wall, the Giants are gonna ball. I was like, hold up. I was like, what? And then we get on the field. He's like, to the window, to the wall, the Giants are gonna effing ball. I was like, yeah, it's no one like him at all, and I love that cat so much. Like there was another time, like it was another little moment yesterday. Like I hurt my shoulder in the game, and I'm cool, but I hurt my shoulder. I'm down, and I'm like, crap. I think I have to come out. And I see the trainers, and then I hear somebody behind me, get the hell up. You gonna finish this effing game. I turn around, it's Jameis. I'm like, damn, I'm hurting. He's like, get the hell up. I'm like, I hear, and then I go back on the field, finish the game. Comes up to me after the game. I'm like, yeah, I need to hear that. I appreciate it. It's like, yeah, I got you, big dog. Like, I don't know how I played the past 8 seasons without having Jameis on my team because I love him so much. He's one of the best teams I've ever had, and I think anyone that's been around Jameis will say the same thing.
That's amazing, man.
I love that.
We would be remiss if we didn't ask you about Jaxson Dart. Obviously, yesterday was his first NFL win, his second one, excuse me. What does he bring to the team? What does he bring to the table in terms of leadership and also from a talent standpoint?
Talent, I think he's going to be special. You know, I've been saying that since I saw him in OTAs and minicamp. You know, him coming to the league, obviously in Ole Miss, he did the whole clap thing. So he had to learn how to do cadences, and cadences are a huge thing in the NFL. So seeing where he's come from and the progress he's made has been huge. He's made huge strides, but it's just the talent. Like, it's just, he has those things that you can't coach, like that grit, that determination, but that swagger. Like his swagger, and I'm sure y'all just seeing bits and pieces of that right now, but the more confidence he gets, and he's a confident dude, the more confidence he gets, the more he learns about the NFL, and just the speed of the game slows down for him. This kid's going to be special. And I've been saying that. I said to myself, I hope I get the opportunity to play with him because I think he's truly going to be one of those ones. And he's showing y'all all that, which we've all been seeing since training camp. Oh, shoot, since he got into the building, honestly. So, yeah, he has those uncoachable aspects of the game that you just look around and you're like, not everyone has those. But it's definitely a blessing to be able to play with a guy like that. And it only makes you better. You know, I mean, you see the offensive line, you know, dominating the D line yesterday. He had a huge part of that because of his legs. So they're thinking about all these different things, and we're just able to come off the ball and smack him in the face. And, you know, he's able to run around back there. We give him all the time he needs, but, you know, he's a baller playing street ball back there. So he's going to make a play out of nothing. And, you know, there's a couple times where I'm blocking my guy. You hear the crowd going, ooh, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm looking around. You see him run around back there like a little headless chicken, like, oh, crap, he's going this way. And then now he's going that way. And then he turns back the other way. I'm like, oh, crap. And I'm trying to go after him, and he's quick as hell. So obviously he's in front of me. But, you know, I want to make sure he doesn't take those hits that guys are probably going to try to hit him now. So it's probably going to get a little feisty, but we live for that.
You grew up playing rugby. You got to tell me how that translated to American football.
I would say the physical nature of the game. You know, I think football is physical in its own way, but rugby, you have no pads and you're smacking dudes who are just as big as you, strong, just chiseled, you know, and I think that's where I got my physicality from, rugby and also wrestling in high school. But rugby is just it's a fun sport, you know, because, you know, as linemen, obviously we don't get the ball that much, if at all, unless it's a fumble. In rugby, you get to carry the ball, and it's like, well, I'm telling you, when you carry that ball, something just comes over you, and you're like, you're on demon time now. I'm not giving this ball out. I'm trucking whoever I want. It's the same thing in football. You know, I always have like this vision where I'm like, if there's ever a fumble and I pick that thing up, I'm toting that thing. I'm going for it. I'm trucking someone. I don't care who it is. I'm going. Like, I have, like, you know, my guy, Rob Hunt, he was with the Dolphins, and he caught that screen on Thursday Night Football and cribbed it for the touchdown. Obviously, he got called back because it was illegal, but, you know, that's how I envision it, just diving for the pylon, you know, maybe getting, like, flipped over but keeping the ball, you know, just little things like that. But rugby prepared me for football, the physical nature of it, too, and, like, the mentality of just, you know, you got to be a dog in those trenches, because rugby, everyone's in the trenches. Football, only the O-line's in the trenches.
Players all over the league complain about the turf situation at MetLife. Do you think the field poses a real risk to guys? Obviously, Jalen Carter didn't play last night, sat out because of the heel, but said because of the turf, he didn't even want to risk it. What are your thoughts on you guys' your home field?
I'd say that as a big guy, you want to play on grass just because the way we play, those like the brunt forces and like the way you're coming down on the turf. Sometimes it can be a little too bouncy and that can hurt your joints and stuff like that. So preferably as a lineman, you want to play on grass just because it's easier on your joints, easier on your knees, and on grass, it's easier to the only time I think we played on grass once this year, which was against Washington, and that's probably the best I felt after a game, just because it's natural, So if I had it my way, then I think every team would have grass on their field. Obviously, non-owner, so you can't really control that. You just gotta do what you do, deal the hand you're given. So, that's just how that is.
Now, we saw the Tush Push quite a bit last night. What are your thoughts on it? Because it seems like fans are they're like turning away from it now.
So I thought the Tush Push was cool when I first saw it, but watching it, I don't know. I think it's dangerous. I would hate to be a center in the middle of that, but then also I think it's dangerous for the defensive lineman too. Obviously, you saw a guy on our team go down, and they did that thing 5 times in a row, but then also the right guard is false starting every single time. I'm not too big on it, honestly. Like I said, I thought it was cool when I first saw it, but now it's kind of just like, you did this thing 5 times in a row. It's kind of, event that's going to start wearing on people, and I think it's dangerous too. And you already play a dangerous sport. You don't want to make a dangerous sport even more dangerous. So I'm sure that more people are probably going to be against that now. And I'm sure it's crazy to say, but it's similar to rugby, like a scrum. That's what it is. It's a scrum. It's like 2 forces just coming together and colliding. And I think that it will higher the chances of getting hurt, maybe neck injuries and stuff like that. But then also it's illegal because of, like I said, the right guard false starts every single time. They did it 5 times yesterday. The right guard false started every single time. And I don't know how that wasn't noticed. But, I honestly think it's going to get banned because there's been a lot of backlash about it, especially this morning and this afternoon, of people just not liking it. So, and just thinking it's just not football, in my opinion. But until that thing gets banned, they're going to keep doing it.
It is critically important for everyone, but especially men, to take care of their health. You have been a part of a program called Crucial Catch Awareness. Can you please just expound on what that program and platform is and why it is so important?
Yeah, for me, it's just bringing more awareness to the necessity like cancer. And, for me, I'm working with the American Cancer Society. I'm an ambassador this season. And, the past 2 years, I've been able to host Christmas events for families whose kids are fighting cancer in remission, or, diagnosed with it. And, cancer treatment is really expensive. It's super expensive, especially, for these families that don't have the funds to be able to pay for it. So for me, it's important because it brings awareness to something that deserves the awareness, but should have even more awareness, because I think that cancer treatments should be free. I don't think families should be having to pay tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to be able to get the best healthcare for their kids who are going through these really tough times and just sucky situations. So, for me, like I said, the past 2 seasons, I've been able to host a Christmas event for families where maybe they can't afford to give their kids Christmas because they're paying for cancer treatments. And so I've hosted, last year, I think we hosted 50 families or 50 kids. We're going to do the same thing this year. And just give back in the smallest way we can. Cause obviously, just putting a smile on their face for one day is a huge thing. But a lot of these kids don't really have much to smile about because of everything they're going through. So that's really my thing,
All right. Well, Jermaine, thank you so much for coming on.
Hold on, Samaria. Because this brother was, born in London, but then he played football in high school in New Jersey. And I just think, as somebody with Jersey origins, I just want to know, because he played in my conference. So you went to Morris Knowles High School, if I'm correct?
Yep.
So I went to Columbia High School way back in the day. Y'all were in our conference. Jersey football.
Isn't Columbia like a rich boy school?
Hell no.
Oh, hold on.
Columbia is in Maplewood, New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Same high schools like SZA,
Wait a minute.
Rotimi, Lauren Hill.
Hold on, Jermaine. Wait. You went to a rich boy school?
No.
Columbia, it just get like a rich boy tone.
Columbia High School?
Yeah, it just sound like one of those preppy schools.
You went to Morris Knowles, brother. I was trying to be respectful. Now we can get disrespectful if you would like. You know what I'm saying? I was just going to ask you.
I was taking the bus when everyone else was driving their little Range Rovers at BMW. So, hey.
Well, let's just keep it Jersey centric. I ain't like that. We definitely not a rich school. That's wild. But yeah, just last question, man. People, because Samaria has an issue with New Jersey, really. So you're supposed to be on my team, on my side. But it's all good. Just in terms of football in the great state of New Jersey, just talk really briefly about what it means to be an athlete from New Jersey and what that mentality that you have to have coming from the Garden State is like, and how it prepares you for your time in the NFL and beyond.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that I have the opportunity to come back to the same state that I truly started playing football in, and just show the kids how here, like I went to Morris Knowles High School, just 40 minutes down the road, and now I'm playing at MetLife Stadium where typically the state finals are held for high school football. So I think that's really cool that I always wanted to make it to States. We never did because my team sucked in high school, but now I'm playing, prime time with the Giants, and I'm starting right tackle doing my thing. So that's a really cool thing for me.
Yeah.
But I think that Jersey football is getting bigger and bigger. The talent was getting bigger too. I think that you have to have a certain mindset in order to get to where I'm at now. And not a lot of people are going to make it because, college nowadays, people are getting paid and people are following the money instead of following the opportunity. And I think that's something that needs to get figured out. But it's all about the mindset. You got to have that dog on you. You got to have that. Like I said, I have plan A. I didn't have no plan B, no plan C, no plan D. It was plan A. And to this day, if I could go back, I wouldn't change anything. Like that question you asked me in the beginning, if I wasn't playing football, what I'd be doing? Nothing, because football was my plan A, plan B, plan C. So that's the type of mindset you got to have in order to make it. And if you don't have that mindset, you're probably not going to make it because this is a very demanding sport. It's a very demanding profession. And, there's only a little over 1,000 people doing this right now. And there's only 32 of my positions starting in the NFL, right tackle. So, if you think about how many right tackles are starting in high school, in college, junior college, like all these different levels, D2, D3, NAIA, FCS, there's hundreds of thousands of people playing this sport. There's millions of kids playing this sport around the country, and there's only 32 of me. And so, you have to have a certain mindset that it doesn't matter who's playing my position, who I'm in front of, who I'm behind, I'm going to make sure I make it. And, that would be my advice to anyone watching this. You got to be a dog, and you got to have that determination, that grit to just put your head in the deep water and, sink or swim. But I'm going to swim every single time.
Heard you.
I love it. Now, can I go? Okay. Jermaine, thank you so much for coming on the show with us. Thank you for being an ambassador for the American Cancer Society. That is so huge. And I really appreciate you just going out of your way, not only to just want to do that, but to be an ambassador with that as well. And congrats on the win last night.
Thank you.
I feel like everybody was rooting for y'all.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, I think we were the good ones going into yesterday, so I'm glad we get the win for people.
We can just say it. We're about to get up out of here. The Eagles fans are assholes, and nobody likes them. They obnoxious. So anytime they can take an L, thank you.